afternoon, the topic that we will be discussing is entitled The Property Ownership and Marital Rights to Properties here in the Philippines. So, are you ready, everyone, to learn something new this afternoon? Or maybe not new, but we will be reinforcing that knowledge that you already have. So, if you are, let's proceed to our discussion for this afternoon. Starting with the objectives of our discussion for this afternoon. It is our goal that by the end of this session, we will be learning about the different types of ownership and marital rights here in the Philippines, particularly relating to properties. And then we will also be learning about the different regimes of property ownerships here in the Philippines. And finally, we will be able to differentiate between married to and spouses. These are terms that are appearing on the title of a property when we are describing who the owner is. So for this, let's start our discussion, starting with the different types of ownership. By the way, before we proceed, if you have any questions, as mentioned earlier, you can type it on the message box here on Google Meet, or you could also write it and then you can raise it as we go on with our discussion, especially when we are already in the question and answer portion. All right, so
Good
let's
afternoon,
start.
attorney.
Good
Good
afternoon,
afternoon.
Sir Ernie. Hi.
Yeah. Hi.
Okay.
So, tuloy tayo, no? Okay. Thank you.
Yes po, sir. All right, so let's start with the first part of our discussion on the different types of property ownerships here in the Philippines. Now, in the Philippines, everyone, it is very important for us to know that there are basically three general types of property ownerships, and each of these kind of property ownership has their specific features that are unique to each and every single one of them. Now, what are those types of ownership? There are three, as I mentioned earlier. First being properties that are solely owned by an individual, or sole ownership properties. Sole type of property ownership. So as the name suggests, when we talk of sole ownership, it means to say that basically there's only one person who owns the property, right? By the name itself, it suggests that that person has the autonomy to actually enjoy, use, and dispose of that certain property that he or she owns without the need or without the necessity of acquiring um, concurrence from other people who owns the property, or without the need of having another person sign a specific document in order for that person to dispose of that kind of property, because that person alone um, owns the property, hence sole ownership. Now, the
Anong
second
example
type,
natin yan, attorney? Do you have an example?
later, sir, I will be discussing different examples for this.
Ah.
As was mentioned earlier, sir, we will entertain questions after the discussion po.
So, the
So
first
as
one is
not to ano,
property solely owned by an individual.
yes. So sole ownership is basically the type of ownership that is owned basically by an individual. Now, moving on to the other type of ownership, we got there an ownership that is co-owned by more than one individual. So as opposed to a sole ownership, a co-ownership would require more than one individual, of course. Now, it could be two, three, or more, depending on depending on how the property was acquired, and depending on when it was actually acquired. It would also matter later on. So in co-ownership, if it is co-owned by two individuals, it does not necessarily have to be one that falls under the conjugal or community type of ownership, because the latter is necessitated by the existence of marriage, while co-ownership does not necessarily have that. So a co-ownership could arise basically it could be because a property was passed down from the parents to, for example, the children. Or another example for this is when two individuals could be related or not related to one another, purchase a property by sharing funds, and then they will just be agreeing as to the terms and conditions of their purchase, and ultimately the share of ownership that they would have. As I mentioned earlier, for co-ownership, it is the single defining factor or differentiator of co-ownership to sole ownership is that it should be owned by more than one individual, hence co-ownership. And then finally, the third type of ownership is what we call the conjugal or the community type of ownership. Now, I earlier mentioned that this kind of ownership arise or is necessitated by the existence of certain criteria. That is, when two individuals enters into a marital relationship or by virtue of marriage. So again, magkakaroon lang tayo dito ng conjugal or community type of ownership if the parties who are considered to be the owners of these properties have entered into marriage or entered into a marital relationship. So later on, we will be discussing the key features of each of these types of ownership, starting with the sole ownership. Okay, so for the sole ownership, as I mentioned, it is owned by a single individual, hence singly owned. That individual who owns that property has the full and absolute control of that property. What do we mean by that? Anong ibig sabihin yan? It means to say na yung taong full owner or single owner of that property has the power to use and to dispose the property, however and whenever that person wants to. So him being the single owner and him having the full control of that property, it means to say that that person would not need permission from any other person by way of signature, as opposed to that in co-ownership. Because as mentioned earlier, he is the full person in control of that property. And being the person in full control of that property, he has the power to independently transfer ownership of that title. So again, there are ways by which we can actually transfer ownership to a property. It could be by virtue of a sale, or it could also be by virtue of succession, ipinapamana natin, or it could also be by virtue of donation. The point here is a sole owner of a property has the power to independently transfer a property without the requirement of consent from any other person or signature from any other person, as required by the two other types of ownership, which we will be discussing again later. And then, of course, as I mentioned earlier, there is a succession. A sole person can actually have the property be inherited by another person, whoever that person may be. Okay? So being the sole and independent owner of a property, he or she can give that property to anyone by way of succession. Of course, yung natural mechanism ng succession dito sa Philippines, it should be, if you are a parent, it should be from the parent down to the children. If the children are all dead, from the parent down to the grandchildren. But what if wala kang descending line? Saan pupunta yon? So yung next line natin is ascending. Kung buhay pa yung magulang mo, pupunta yun sa kanila. Pag wala na yung mga magulang mo, yung collateral naman. Collateral meaning yung mga kapatid mo. Okay? So that's the general picture of succession here in the Philippines. Again, in succession, una muna yung descendants mo, your heirs. Pag wala ka ng heirs, yung mga heirs nila. Pag wala yan, if hindi nag-i-exist yung descending line mo, yung ascending line mo naman, yung mga magulang mo, silang priority over your siblings. So only when you don't have parents anymore, when you don't have ascendants and you don't have descendants, will your collateral line be activated. So dyan lang mangyayari yung part na yung mga kapatid mo naman yung mabibigyan mo ng mana. So usually nangyayari to if the person did not marry or did not have any children. And then wala na yung mga magulang niya. So yung mga kapatid niya yung nagiging heirs niya by default. Okay. And then of course, lastly, one of the key features of sole ownership is the liability. Ano yung liability na to? It means to say na since you are the single owner and the one who has full control of that property, lahat ng liability na mag-a-arise by virtue of that property that you solely own will be yours. Magiging liabilities mo yan. So liability mo siya kasi ikaw yung single owner, ikaw yung only owner of that property. So ano ba yung mga liabilities na to na mini-mention natin dito? So this could be yung mga taxes na hindi mo nababayaran, real property taxes. Since you are the single and sole owner of the property, you are the sole responsible for the payment of the taxes that are basically due and demandable arising from your property. So one additional feature that I would like to add here is, since you are the single owner of that property and you are the one in full control, you are also the one who would benefit from all the fruits and all the income that could arise from that property. Ano ba yung mga fruits na to? Ano ba yung mga income na to? Well, legally, yung fruits, it could mean income as well. Because depending on the property, hindi naman kasi lahat ng property na produce ng fruit. So, for example, if the property is an agricultural land that produces, sabihin natin, mga palay, nagproduce siya ng mga bigas. So, lahat ng income na nanggagaling dyan sa property mo na yan will be yours alone. And also, the taxes and the liabilities that are attached to the income that you have produced out of your property. Now, what if your property is, halimbawa, house and lot, tapos pinapaupahan mo yung bahay. So, yung income dyan will also be yours alone because you are the sole owner, right? So, it will be yours and also the liabilities that are attached from that income. So, yung income taxation will also be yours. Okay, so that is sole ownership. Again, sole ownership, when you inherit a property, tapos ikaw lang yung nag-iisang may-ari na nakapangalan doon, usually your title is your best evidence that you are the sole owner. And then also, when you purchase a property without subjecting yourself to a partnership, okay? And then you become the only buyer to that property, then you become the sole owner. So that is what sole ownership is. Now, let's move to the co-ownership. As opposed to sole ownership, again, dito sa co-ownership, there are more than one individual involved. So it could be two, without subjecting yourself to a conjugal or community type of ownership, three or more, depending on how you were actually able to acquire your property. So ano yung key features naman ng co-ownership? Key features would involve, hold on everyone. Okay, so key features would involve the co-owners will have an undivided interest in the property that they co-own. So for co-ownership, I like to discuss this by comparing it to a pizza. Imagine the property is like a pizza. When you co-own, each of the co-owners are entitled to a slice of that pizza. Halimbawa, yung pizza na yan is divided into 5, representing the heirs that are going to benefit from the extrajudicial settlement of the estate of the parent. Halimbawa, yung hypothetical situation natin dito will be, namatay yung parents, nag-iwan sila ng isang property, and then that property will be represented by the pizza. Yung parents na yan, meron siyang 5 anak. So, yung 5 anak na to, i-represent sila dito ng people who will be eating the slice of the pizza. So, if we are going to extrajudicially settle the property by dividing it equally among the heirs, we will be dividing the pizza into 5 equal sizes of pizza slice, right? So every single one of the heirs will receive 1/5 or 1 slice of that pizza, since dinivide natin siya into 5 different slices or portions. So in some cases, other heirs would actually waive their rights to their shares. So for example, dun sa halimbawa natin kanina, dinivide natin yung pizza into 5. Halimbawa, yung dalawa doon, magwi-waive sila ng rights nila to their share of the pizza. So saan mapupunta yung ano nila, yung share nila? So the shares of these two who waive their rights will be distributed according to how they waived their rights to the property. Because it could be that the waiver was subject to the condition that their share will be given to heir number 1. Or it could also be that the second condition could be that the shares of these individuals who waive their rights to the property is being donated back to the estate. So, ano yung implication pag dinonate nila yung pag winave nila yung share nila back to the estate versus pag i-waive nila yung yung rights nila to the property back to a specific heir. Dito papasok yung concept of donation. Okay. So, donation will only apply. It is very important, donation will only apply if yung mga nag-waive ng kanilang rights nag-waive sila in favor of a specific person dito sa kanilang mga kapatid. But the donation will not apply if ibinalik nila yung share nila back to the estate. Okay. And also, the next consideration for the application of donor's tax is kung kailan sila nag-waive ng right nila. If they waive their right after na-settle na yung estate, ibig sabihin, na-divide na sa kanilang 5, this is based on the example earlier. If na-divide na sa kanilang 5 yung property, na pangalan na sa kanilang 5 yung title ng property, and then nag-execute itong dalawa, si A and B, nag-execute sila ng waiver of their rights. Okay. Nag-execute sila ng waiver of their rights, hindi na nila ito mawi-waive in favor of the estate kasi kanila na yung estate. So, mag-apply na dito yung donor's tax kasi after na ng settlement of estate. Pero during the settlement of estate, sila mag-waive ng kanilang right, that is when the donor's tax will not be applicable. We will be discussing that again later. Let's proceed with the other key features of co-ownership. Okay, so the second one is that co-owners could have equal or unequal share. Paano nangyari yun? Pwede silang magkaroon ng equal or unequal share. It could happen depending on how they have actually acquired the property. Equal share, mangyayari yan usually when the property is extrajudicially settled. Halimbawa dun sa example ulit natin kanina, yung 5 heirs, nagkaroon sila ng equal share because when they extrajudicially settled the property, hindi sila nag-waive, halimbawa, ng kanilang right. So, according to their extrajudicial settlement, they are dividing the property equally among themselves. So, each one of them